All right, guys, we're here. We're at the end of the season. 10 days left in the baseball season. 9 games remain for the Mariners. And we're still breathing. We're still alive. 9 games to play. And the Seattle Mariners could still make the playoffs. I don't think a lot of people predicted that before the season started. I don't think a lot of people would have expected this team to progress to that point so quickly. But we're here. We are here, and we got to talk about it because the odds are long. The odds are long, but they're not infinite. There is some percent chance that the Mariners will see some playoff baseball this year, even if it's only one game. I personally, and I think a lot of people, would take one playoff game. It's a step in the right direction. So, we got to talk about these last 9 games of the season, this last 10-game stretch. First, to talk about the last week of baseball, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because honestly, the team doesn't leave me that much to talk about. They played great. The last week of baseball has been amazing. 6-1. We took 4 games from Oakland, finished off the sweep today. Took 2 or 3 from Kansas City. The one loss is basically on the shoulders of Kikuchi. Offense didn't really show up in that game either, but the goat of the team right now, the guy who is clearly and obviously not pulling his weight right now is Kikuchi. He had a bad start again today, and we managed to win in spite of it. And he bears most of the blame for the one loss we've had in the last week. So there is some good news concerning Kikuchi, which I'll get into when I get into the next stretch of games. But suffice to say, the last 7 games have been great. The offense has mostly shown up. The pitching, other than Kikuchi, has honestly been pretty lights out. Only a couple of runs given up in these games for the most part. 2 runs against Kansas City, 1 run against Kansas City, 2 against Oakland, 2 against Oakland, 1 against Oakland. That's some pretty incredible work by this pitching staff as a whole, because the comments I made in the last video about the bullpen not being reliable, like they got it together. They've really gotten it together this last week, and they've barely given up anything. And what they have given up has not been particularly meaningful. So a lot of really, really good stuff from this team. Seager's raking right now. Haniger's hitting for a little bit of power. Ty France cooled off a little bit. So did Toro, but other guys are picking up the slack. I'm seeing things that I like from Kelnick. He's had some good games. Cal Riley had a good game today. So the team is really coming together here at the end. But what we're really here to talk about is what happens next. We have 9 games left, 3 in Los Angeles, 3 against Oakland at home, and 3 against Los Angeles at home. So these are all very winnable games. We will be favored in most of these games. Not that that means anything, but, well, it doesn't mean nothing, I guess. So the games that I'm really concerned about would be the Kikuchi start, but here's the good news. Here's the upshot. Kikuchi only has one more start this season because he started today. So other than the one Kikuchi start against Oakland on the 28th, we're getting the guys who have been doing their job lately. Now, Logan Gilbert, I understand he's inconsistent. He's had some bad starts, some good starts. He's up and down. I'm not going to say I have complete faith in Logan Gilbert right now, but I I can't believe we're here right now with Kikuchi, who was our only All-Star this year, but I trust everyone else in this rotation more than Kikuchi. He's not good. He's not good enough right now. And Tyler Anderson has been awesome since we traded for him. Marco's locked down. He had a great start against Oakland a few days ago. Flexen's been awesome. Flexen's had a good year. And Gilbert, a lot of it is still potential, but he's definitely had some impressive starts already in his career. And I'm happy to turn the reins over to him tomorrow against the Angels, and also one more at home against Oakland. So the rotation of our pitching staff is in our favor. We only have the one Kikuchi start, and then you've got 2 Gilbert starts, and the other 6 starts that you're getting are fairly reliable at this point. So LA is an approximately average team that has nothing to play for, and Oakland basically has nothing to play for because our sweep of them basically ends their season. Now, they are not a bad team, but for whatever it's worth, it does seem like the Mariners have their number a little bit this year. We have had a lot of success against Oakland, and I'm not saying that we can win all these games because you don't go on winning streaks like that often in baseball, but I think we could win 7 of these 9 games potentially. I think the potential is there. These are very winnable games. At least 6, you would hope, if this team really wants to finish out this season on a strong note. So the question is that enough? Let's take a look here. Let's try to summarize our situation. We are 2 games back of the second wildcard spot currently held by the Yankees. We are 4 games back of the first wildcard spot currently held by the Boston Red Sox. What sucks, what makes this hard, is that we have another team between us and the wild card in the Toronto Blue Jays. So we have to pass 2 teams. We have to pass 2 teams and not get passed by anybody else. The only team that could pass us really is Oakland, and they could still if they sweep us or if they have a really good close to the season. But they seem to be a team that's headed in the wrong direction right now. They've lost, after we swept them, of course. So let's focus on the 3 teams in front of us. So let's start with the Red Sox because that's going to be easy. You look at the Red Sox remaining schedule. They have 3 games against the Yankees. Okay, that's not easy. But then they've got 3 against Baltimore, one of the worst teams in baseball. 3 against Washington, another bad team. So even if we win out, I don't think we're going to catch Boston. So forget about Boston. Cross them off. We're not passing the Red Sox, which unfortunately means you need to pass the Yankees and the Blue Jays. So you need to make up 1 game on Toronto, and I think you have to make up 3 games on the Yankees because they own the tiebreaker. I think we have the tiebreaker over Toronto, though. Or maybe there is no tiebreaker and there's just like a tiebreaker game. I'm actually not 100% sure off the top of my head. But let's just focus on these 2 teams because we need to pass both of them. Because like I just said, the odds of us passing the Red Sox are minuscule. They have such an easy last 6 games. They might win all 6. It would be somewhat of a surprise if they didn't win at least 6 of their last 9, which would be enough even if we win out to hold their lead over us. So this is going to be kind of tricky here. So we've got this 3-game series for the Yankees against the Red Sox. And quite simply, we are Red Sox fans for this upcoming 3-gamer. We have to be. We have to accept the fact that catching Boston is not a realistic goal. So we got to hope that Boston puts the hurt on New York. And then, of course, we're going to be rooting for Tampa Bay against New York. And that plays to our favor. That plays to our advantage because Tampa Bay is a very good team. And they have the opportunity to take a couple games off of the Yankees, no problem. So that plays in our favor. This Toronto series is really weird and interesting because we need to pass both teams. We can't just pass one. I think we're rooting for Toronto in this series, but it also kind of depends on what happens in this Tampa Bay series, which happens after the Blue Jays series. So we're put in a very weird situation here where we kind of have to hope that the Yankees maybe win 2 of 3 against Toronto, but not 3 of 3 because we can't have them winning too many games because they're already 2 games plus a tiebreaker ahead of us. It's really weird what to root for here. And if you look at the Blue Jays' remaining schedule, they've got 3 against Minnesota. Minnesota's not good. Now, they helped us out tonight with that win, but they're not that good. Toronto is really hot for the most part lately, although thank you, Tampa Bay. You cooled them down for us just a little bit. So we can probably count on the Twins to give them 1 L, but not too much more than that. And then to close out the season, they've got a crappy Baltimore team. So there are not a whole lot of losses left for this Blue Jays team. So I I don't know. The margin for error is going to be really thin here because the issue is that these teams keep playing each other. So the good news is they can't win all their games because they're playing each other. The bad news is they can't lose all their games. So you might be looking at a scenario where you need the Blue Jays to lose 2 games to the Yankees, and then you need the Yankees to lose all their games to Tampa Bay or Boston, or maybe 2 against Boston and 1 against Tampa Bay, something like that. It's a really weird circumstance where you can't just say, oh, we need the Yankees to lose every game they play. We're rooting against the Yankees in every game. We're not. Because we need to catch Toronto as well, and they're only a game ahead of us, but they get 3 chip shots against Baltimore. They get 3 games against a not very good Minnesota team at the end here as well. We need them to take probably at least 3 losses if we're going to actually catch them. So I'm not saying the odds are good, but I'm grateful that there is an opportunity. However, none of this matters if we don't win. We have to win at least 6 of these last 9, maybe 7. And we can do it. We can do it. We're on a hot streak right now. We played great against Oakland. But we need some things to go our way for sure. And tomorrow we've got a couple of games to keep an eye on, even as we watch the Mariners for sure. We will be rooting very hard for Minnesota to help us out here. If Minnesota could take a couple off of Toronto here at the end, if Minnesota could somehow find a way to beat Toronto twice more in the next 3 games, then that frees up a lot of margin for error. Then maybe you can talk yourself into, okay, they can sweep the Yankees. Okay, maybe if they can get 3 on the Yankees, then that single-handedly could allow us to pass them, and then we just need Boston and Tampa Bay to do some damage. So there are paths forward, but I don't know if I'm expecting it. Let's just go with that for now. But I am definitely going to watch. Definitely going to watch. Very excited. Let's hope that the next time I'm making a Mariners video, it's not to, throw some dirt on the season. Let's hope it's to celebrate the possibilities. All right, see you guys later. Go Mariners. Hey, from this team, from this level of talent, this is all I can ask for. It's fun to have baseball mean something at the end of September.